Today, we're going to dive into a pretty amazing story about how a piece of technology from one industry completely, and I mean completely, upended another, leading to a huge breakthrough in how crime scene evidence is collected. So let me start with a question for you. What could an oil spill and a crime scene possibly have in common? I know, right? They seem like they're from two totally different universes. But the answer connects them in a really surprising way. And that connection is something called an unbreakable chain of evidence. See, in both of these worlds, everything, and I mean everything, depends on proving that a sample, whether it's a bit of contaminated soil or a crucial fingerprint, hasn't been messed with from the second it was collected. Yeah, both environmental work and crime scene investigation rely on a perfect, flawless chain of custody. If you get that wrong, the whole case can just fall apart. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar environmental lawsuit or even a murder conviction. Gone. So what exactly is this chain of custody? Well, think of it as the evidence's biography. It's a super detailed log that tracks who had it, where it was, and what happened to it every single step of the way. Any little gap in that story, any question mark, and poof, that evidence could be totally useless in court. And this, right here, is where our story hits a major wall. Because for decades, this absolutely critical process in forensics has been relying on, well, paper. And this slide just perfectly captures the chaos, doesn't it? I mean, just imagine it. You've got investigators at a complex scene trying to fill out forms by hand, sometimes with handwriting you can't even read. Photos are being taken on a separate camera, and you just have to hope they get matched up with the right evidence tag later. The whole thing is slow, it's messy, and it is just wide open to human error. And those little errors, they have massive consequences. Get this. A staggering 15% of all criminal appeals bring up the mishandling of evidence. That's not a small number. That's thousands of cases where the entire investigation's integrity gets questioned, all because of a potential slip-up in that paper trail. And let's be clear, this isn't just about some annoying paperwork. A simple typo, a photo that goes missing, a smudged signature, that stuff can lead to wrongful convictions. It can let guilty people walk free. The stakes just could not be any higher. So with a problem this big, you'd expect the solution to come from a high-tech forensics lab, right? Or maybe a big police department. Well, you'd be wrong. It actually came from the world of environmental science. It's a pretty wild journey. So check out this company called SampleCSI. For almost 20 years, their entire world was environmental sampling. They literally started out by physically collecting samples. Then they became a software company, building this powerful app to digitize the chain of custody for their industry. And then they had a light bulb moment. And this quote just perfectly captures that aha moment. The founder realized that the huge problem they'd solved for tracking environmental pollution, creating an airtight digital record, was the exact same problem that was plaguing crime scene investigations. The technology could be lifted and shifted, almost perfectly. And here's the best part. This wasn't some new idea they sketched on a napkin. The tech was already a seasoned pro. It had been out in the field for over 7 years, in really high-stakes situations, successfully tracking more than 500,000 samples. It was mature, it was reliable, it was totally battle-tested. So, how did they take this proven platform and adapt it for forensics? Well, they created SampleCSI, a system designed to yank crime scene evidence collection right into the 21st century. This comparison really says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old paper way. It's manual, it's slow, everything's in its own little silo. On the right, the new digital system is automated. It's all connected. Photos are instantly and permanently linked to the evidence. Every single action creates a digital footprint you can verify, and supervisors can even watch what's happening in real time. So what does this actually look like at a crime scene? It's surprisingly simple. An investigator just logs into the app on their phone, gathers all the info and photos for a piece of evidence, and gets a digital signature. The app automatically grabs the exact time, date, and GPS location. Then, a little portable printer spits out a unique QR-coded label. You stick it on the evidence bag, and boom, that chain of custody is born digital and secure from the very first second. And the system is just packed with awesome features. Beyond that patented digital chain of custody, it uses this cool tech called photogrammetry. It basically stitches photos together to create these interactive 3D models of the whole crime scene. Data flows right to the lab, and you can generate reports for the prosecutor in, seconds. So what's the bottom line? This digital upgrade isn't just about being more accurate, it's also about being way more efficient. By getting rid of all that redundant paperwork, the system saves an investigator about 20% of their time on site, and that's time they can now spend on actual detective work. But the vision here is so much bigger than just one app that saves time. It's really about fundamentally changing the entire ecosystem of how evidence is managed from start to finish. And when you look at the potential market for this, it is just massive. The total market for this kind of evidence tech is estimated to be around $3.5 billion. That just shows you how huge and widespread this problem really is and how big the opportunity is to fix it. Now, this is where their business model gets really, really smart. Instead of trying to come in and replace all the big software systems that police departments already use, their strategy is to partner up with them. They basically license out their specialized evidence collection app to everybody. This approach is brilliant because it turns would-be competitors into partners. It lets SampleCSI focus on what they do best, which is perfecting that digital chain of custody right at the crime scene, while fitting in perfectly with the systems that law enforcement already knows how to use. It's an upgrade, not a total overhaul. And to really make this vision a reality, the company is scaling up. The goal is to get this technology into the hands of more and more investigators and just keep making the product better and better for the future of forensics. You know, the story of SampleCSI is just such a powerful reminder that sometimes the most groundbreaking solutions come from looking at a very old problem through a completely new set of eyes. It really leaves you with a fascinating question, doesn't it? What other huge breakthroughs are just sitting there, waiting for someone from a totally unrelated field to come along and connect the dots?